May I please, Lordship?
Some judgment is there. I'll just pronounce it. Give me 2 minutes.
For pronouncement of judgment, WPC 145 of 2022.
Nothing. Just the operative portion. Thus, under the facts and circumstances of the case, I do not find any merit in the writ petition, and accordingly the same is dismissed. The interim orders passed earlier shall stand merged with this order. No cost. Then IA also accordingly disposed of in terms of the main. Yes.
For delivery of judgment, WPC 115 of 2019.
Okay. The operative portion. Thus, upon having due regard to the submissions made by the liable parties, I am of the considered view that there is merit in the writ petition, and the appointment of the respondent number 8 cannot be sustained. Accordingly, the same is set aside. The respondents are now directed to consider the case of the petitioner in terms of the recommendation forwarded by the Director, Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Services, to the Principal Secretary to the Government of Nagaland on 15/1/2018. Such consideration shall be done as expeditiously as possible, at any rate within a period of 6 weeks from the date of receipt of a certified copy of this order. With the above observation and directions, the writ petition stands disposed of. Yes, Mr. Jamir.
May I please, Lordship? Your Lordship, if item number 8, if the matter will be listed on Tuesday, Your Lordship, 28. In this case, Your Lordship, I will filing an IA praying for amendment of the writ petition, Your Lordship.
Item 8.
Item 8. So if the matter will be listed on 28, Tuesday, Your Lordship.
This is regarding cancellation of appointment.
Yes, offer of appointment, Your Lordship. So what has happened during the pendency of this, after the union has filed the affidavit, they have cancelled. The final order has been issued. So I need to incorporate that final order, Your Lordship.
On the prayer of Mr. P.V. Jamir, learned counsel for the petitioners, list the matter again on 28th of March,
Lordship.
2023.
Lordship.
Yes.
Lordship. Highly obliged.
Yeah, please, Your Lordship.
Yes.
Item number 15, Your Lordship. Here I'm representing the state. Your Lordship, today I have some personal difficulties. So this matter may be listed after 1 week, Your Lordship.
You are for the,
State respondents, 1 to 5, Your Lordship.
what difficulty you have today?
Personal difficulty, Your Lordship.
Yes, who's for the other side?
My lord, I'm for the petitioner. In that case, my lord, let this matter come after a week,
After a week?
my lord. And in the meantime, the interim order will be continued, my lord.
Oh, interim order is there.
Yes, my lord.
The stay of
My
your
lord.
cancellation. Notice of cancellation,
My
isn't
lord,
it?
my lord.
What was the problem actually? What is the problem?
My lord, here the problem is that,
Your father resigned.
yes.
Your father resigned. Against that, you've been
honorable,
appointed.
Yes, yes, my lord.
They say that that is not possible.
My lord.
Anyway, what's your name?
In Holly, Your Lordship.
Ms. Inali, learned government advocate, submits that she has some personal difficulties and that the matter may be adjourned for a week. The state prayer is not opposed to by the learned counsel for the petitioner. Stop. In view of above, list the matter again after a week for hearing.
Much
All right.
obliged, Your Lordship.
For the interim, let the interim.
The interim order passed earlier to continue till then.
My lord.
Yes.
Please, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, I beg to mention item number 9. My senior is indisposed, so let the matter be released after 3 weeks.
Okay. Learned counsel for the petitioner. What's his name? Your senior?
Toshi Damjan.
Mr. Toshi Temjin Ponganar
Yes, yes, Your
is
Lordship.
reported to be indisposed. On a prayer made on his behalf, the matter stands adjourned for 2 weeks. State respondents to file their counter affidavit.
Much-
In the meantime, yes.
Please, my lord. My lord, I may be allowed to mention for item number 6. I'm still yet to file my affidavit in reply, lordship. For
How
the
much
2
time?
weeks, 2 weeks time may be granted.
Further 2 weeks' time is granted to the petitioner for filing reply affidavit.
Yes, lordship.
List after 2 weeks.
Obliged, my lord.
Yeah, please, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, I beg to mention item number 12. 12 and 13.
Yes.
Your Lordship, state is yet to file affidavit, so kindly grant me 3 weeks' time.
What is happening in this case?
Your Lordship, here the petitioner,
What is happening in this case?
Your Lordship.
There is some meeting minutes which they say that it should be implemented. They want the post of head driver in various directorates. So what steps are you taking on that?
Your Lordship, I'm here to receive the instructions and parawise comments this one.
Okay. So how much time should you require?
3 weeks, Your Lordship.
3 weeks. Right. The state respondents have not yet filed their counter affidavit. Stop on the request made by Ms. A. Ayumi, Learned State Counsel, representing the state respondents. Further 3 weeks' time is granted for filing counter affidavit. List after 3 weeks.
Much obliged, Your Lordship.
Your Lordship, I'm making a submission on behalf of the counsel for the petitioner, Mr. P.B. Paul.
Yes,
Yes,
which item?
item number
Item
10.
number 10.
Yes.
Lordship, he has some personal difficulty to attend the court today. Kindly list the matter after a week.
Mr. P.B. Paul is reported to have some personal difficulties to appear before the court today. Stop. On a mention made on his behalf by Ms.
Vikono,
V. Kono, Learned Counsel, matter stands adjourned for 2 weeks.
interim, we continue.
The interim order passed earlier to continue
Yes, Lordship.
till the next date. You are for?
I'm for the respondent number 2 to 4.
What is your stand?
Lordship, today we'll be filing our affidavit in opposition.
I know, but what is your stand in the affidavit? Why have you given that notice?
In this case, Lordship,
Yes.
I am,
Section 1026 is of the Income Tax Act exempts any person, any tribal person having income from a tribal area from paying income tax. So why did you issue notice to the petitioner?
Lordship, the same has been replied in affidavit.
All right. Okay, 2 weeks.
Much obliged.
Much obliged.
Lordship, I beg to mention on behalf of V. Jimo, who is representing the state, he is yet to file his counter in item number 1. So kindly grant 3 weeks' time, Your Lordship.
May I please, Lordship? Lordship, this case has been filed since 31st of March 2021. Since then, the government, they are seeking adjournment after adjournment, so let this be the last adjournment, and then please no further adjournment be allowed, Lordship.
Last chance?
Yes.
Last chance?
Your Lordship, there has been some communication gap. It seems the affidavit has been filed.
When?
So,
But it's not on the record. I have also not seen it. It's not available in the file. Did you file this morning? Or what?
Your Lordship, I'm mentioning on behalf of my colleagues, so, but He just asked me to seek for 3 weeks' time. So I had no information that the affidavit had been
That
filed.
is one submission.
Okay, Your
The
Lordship.
other submission is that it seems the affidavit is already filed. So which one is correct?
The affidavit is yet to file, sir.
Oh, Your Lordship, if he has not filed, then 3 weeks' time may be granted, Your Lordship.
Counter affidavit not filed. That is the remark.
All right, Your Lordship, then 3 weeks' time may be granted, Your Lordship.
Last chance. What is the matter about?
It's about payment of back wages.
The Lorette State Council prays for further 3 weeks' time to file counter affidavit. To stop the said prayer is opposed to by the Learned Council for the petitioner, stating that since the matter is of 2021, the matter should be taken up on urgent basis. In view of above, list the 3 weeks' time is granted to the state respondents as a last chance.
Much obliged.
Much obliged, Lord.
Yes.
May I please, Lordship? Lordship, I beg to mention item number 4 on behalf of Subun Chan. The state is here to file counter affidavit, so Lordship may kindly grant 3 weeks' time.
Who's for the petitioner? Have you informed the other side? And who's for the respondent number 5? 5 has filed affidavit. Accountant General, AG.
Yes, Lordship.
Counsel for petition is absent or what? IMT Longsha. Supawati Walling also is there. Any objection?
Your Lordship, the states, they have already filed the counter, so if
No. Only 5 has filed.
Yes, Lordship, then no.
That is the Accountant General.
Yes, Lordship.
Department has not filed. As paid for by Learned State Council, further 3 weeks' time is granted for filing counter affidavit. List after 3 weeks. Please file it. It's a pension matter.
Yes, Lordship. And Lordship, item number 11, the same prayer.
Huh?
Item number 11, similar
11.
prayer. Yes, Lordship.
Okay, this is a compassionate appointment matter. This also requires to be dealt at the earliest.
Yes, Lordship.
Because the very benefit of, the very purpose of having compassionate appointment will not be there if you delay. As paid for by the Learned State Council, further 3 weeks' time is granted, with an understanding that counter affidavit will be positively filed. List the matter again after 3 weeks. Yes.
And Lordship, item number 7, I made the receive instructions. Lordship may kindly grant 3 weeks' time.
Okay, item 7 also, similar order. This is also a pension matter.
No, Lordship, this is the posthumous regularization.
Correct. What is the purpose of posthumous regularization? Purpose is to get pension. That is why. Yes. Anything
And
else?
Lordship, item number 14, on behalf of TIPA, here the state is here to file counter affidavit. So Lordship may kindly grant 3 weeks' time.
Okay, and the prayer made by the Learned State Council for the 3 weeks' time is granted for filing counter affidavit. Now, what about the 6 and 7, 5 and 6? Anyone representing them? Rifle Association and all that.
Your Lordship, we have served the copy to respondent number 5 and 6 through Justice.
Your Lordship, earlier when the Vakalat Nama was filed, his name was not added.
No, how will you add his name? You file a fresh Vakalatnama, isn't it? If Vakalatnama is filed later on, another person comes to be engaged, he also will go and give a signature or what? Everybody will give one signature in one Vakalatnama. No, you can file a separate Vakalatnama, isn't it?
Okay, yes, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, if maybe 1 week kindly be given.
It so happened, you see, long time back in the UT days, in Mizoram, Union Territory days, one person working in the deputy commissioner establishment applied for casual leave. Then his friend came to know about it. He said, I also want casual leave. He also wrote in the same application, I also want application. I mean, me too, and gave his signature. It's something like that. So get one fresh vakalatnama and file it. Who's the counsel?
Your Lordship, if 1 week time may be given.
Who is that counsel?
Senti Young, your Lordship.
Okay. And your name?
Conley.
Sorry?
Conley.
Connelly.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Miss Connelly, learned counsel for the petitioner, submits that Mr. Senti Younger is also engaged by the petitioner recently, or what? Recently.
Yes, Your Lordship.
And therefore, she may be granted a week's time to file the vakalatama of Mr. Senti Younger. Prayers aloud. List of matter after a week. Yes.
Lordship, Lordship.
May I please, Your Lordship.
What kind of case is this?
Your Lordship, the petitioner is praying for release of additional funds, Your Lordship, for completion of the.
No, is
work award.
it a case? Is it a request to be made to the court, or you have to go and ask the department concerned?
Your Lordship, we have already made a representation to the department, Your Lordship, and the department have also forwarded several letters, Your Lordship, for proposal of additional funds, Your Lordship. However, additional funds have not
Department has forwarded
been. Yes, Your Lordship.
letters to whom?
Lordship.
Let us see.
If Your Lordship would come to annexure D, Your Lordship. Page number 22, Your Lordship. Type copy will be in page number 22. Your Lordship, the Director of the Animal Husbandry, Your Lordship. They have wrote proposal letter to the Commission and
Let
Secretary.
us see the type copy.
Your Lordship, page 23, Your Lordship.
23, yes. This is more legible.
Yes, Your Lordship.
This was on which date?
Your Lordship,
30th August.
2019, Your Lordship. In Your Lordship, the Director have also made another representation, another letter on 17 February 2021.
No, before that, you just explain what is this work which is going on.
Lordship, this is for the construction of VHC building, Your Lordship, at Knoxon, Your Lordship. Lordship, here what has happened is that the petitioner was awarded.
Veterinary Health Center.
Yes, Your Lordship, at Knoxon, Your Lordship. Twinsang, Your Lordship.
In Twinsang.
Yes, Your Lordship.
How much was sanctioned originally?
Lordship, 14,78,000, Your Lordship.
Where do we find that?
Your Lordship. Annexure A, Your Lordship.
Annexure A.
Page number
14.
Yes, Your Lordship.
And
Type copy will be in
you have a type copy at 16.
16 and 17. Your Lordship.
This is work order.
Yes, Your Lordship. Work order was for the construction of veterinary health center at Knoxon, Your Lordship, as well as for site leveling, Your Lordship. Lordship, what has happened is that the petitioner has already completed this site leveling, Your Lordship, and the bill was already given to him, Your Lordship.
No, where's the tender amount? Is it a tender?
Yes, Your Lordship, page 16, Your Lordship.
16.
Value of work, Your Lordship. Right top, Your Lordship.
Value of work
Yes,
is
Your Lordship.
14.
14,78,000.
Okay. Then construction of veterinary health
Center
center
at Knoxon.
Knoxon
Your Lordship.
under state plan so and so.
Yes, Your Lordship.
So this is the petitioner,
Yes, Your Lordship.
MC.
Yes, Your Lordship. It's a contractor, Your
Ongbu
Lordship.
Chang.
Yes, Your Lordship.
This is the petitioner.
Yes, Your Lordship. Class 1 contractor, Your Lordship.
And this project has to be completed by which time?
Lordship, 12 months was given, Your Lordship, for
Huh?
completion. 12 months, Your Lordship.
12 months. From which date?
From the issue of the work order, Your Lordship.
From 26 November.
Yes, Your Lordship.
And the work is completed?
No, Your Lordship.
Not yet completed.
Yes, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, what has happened is that along with the work order, site leveling was also given, Your Lordship. Your Lordship would come to the subject of the work order, Your Lordship, of the letter.
Yes.
Construction of the veterinary health center at Noxon under.
From where are you reading?
Your Lordship, page 16, Your Lordship, the work order.
Okay.
Your Lordship, if Your Lordship would come to the subject, Your Lordship.
Yes.
Work order of the work construction of veterinary health center at Noxon under state plan 2013 and 14. And Your Lordship, as well as the site leveling, Your Lordship. Lordship, what has happened is that the petitioner have already completed the site leveling, Your Lordship. And the petitioner have completed the site leveling and was waiting for the for continuation of the work, Your Lordship. Additional funds were requested, Your Lordship.
This 14 lakhs is for site leveling only?
No, Your Lordship, for the whole work, Your Lordship. Your Lordship would come to page number 22, Your Lordship. The proposal letter by the director, Your Lordship. Your Lordship would come to the third paragraph, Your Lordship.
Yes.
In this regard, the contractor has completed site development for the above mentioned work, and accordingly, during 2013 and 14, the government has released an amounting of 1,50,000 only, and payment was made to the contractor. However, since 2014 to 15, further funds was not released, but the provisions not available, and a balance of 20,75,000 is still pending on completion of the work order.
The value of the work is only 14 lakhs.
Yes,
So
Your
from where do you say 20 lakhs?
Your Lordship, is the proposal of additional funds, Your Lordship, made by the director itself, Your Lordship.
So how much has been released to you?
Your Lordship, only 1,50,000, Your Lordship, only for the site leveling, Your Lordship. Your Lordship would come to the affidavit filed by the state respondent, Your Lordship. The state respondent submission is that, Your Lordship, due to non-availability of funds and budgetary provisions, the remaining amount could not be paid to the petitioner, Your Lordship, by the department till date.
No, but you have not done the work also, no?
Yes, Your Lordship.
Except for leveling.
Lordship.
Then for what purpose do you want the money?
Lordship, for continuation of the work, Your Lordship.
Yes, what is this matter?
Your Lordship, due to paucity of fund, the department has decided to abandon the work. Yes.
Is it in writing?
No.
Then
it is as per my verbal instruction.
Oh, that will
Your
not do, no?
Lordship, here, Lordship, can you see para 4 of the state written opposition, state contract? State contract.
Yes.
Para 4.
Yes.
That with regard to the statement made in paragraph 2, 3, and 4 of the lead petition, the answering deponent respectfully submits that the work order was awarded to the petitioner with an estimated cost of 22,25,000 only for construction of veterinary health center at Noxon under state plan, with terms and condition that no mobilization nor enhancement will be considered by the department, with further stipulation that the agreement will be made subject to the availability of funds. Accordingly, a contract agreement was executed between the department and the petitioner, and an amount of ₹1,50,000 only was paid to the petitioner as per available budget provision. That means for mobilization, the state has already paid to the petitioner. Now, Your Lordship, come to page 5, annexure A of the state contract. Now, this is 26 November 2014.
On top of the page, you see 14,78,000.
Yes, Your Lordship.
But you say that the amount is 22,25,000.
Yes, out of that, for mobilization, that means to start the work, it was been paid.
No, the estimate amount is 22,25,000. But why do you write here value of work is 14 lakhs only? Should it not be similar? work was allotted to him,
Yes.
to the company,
Yes.
for how much? Value of work is 14 lakhs only.
Yes, Your Lordship.
But then you say the estimated cost is 22 lakhs 25,000.
Because that includes, after the completion of the work, that includes electrification, everything will come. So
Yes.
total cost was like that, but the work order that was given to him, the petitioner was for
14 lakhs 78,000.
because total cost was like that. Now, Your Lordship, you can see page 5, Annexure E, terms and condition. No mobilization. Terms and conditions, Your Lordship.
Yes.
No mobilization advance will be given. No announcement of rate will be considered by the department. Nagaland Cell Tax Acts will be applicable as per common notification. The stipulated time for completion is 12 months from the date of issue of this work order. Payment is subject to availability of fund by the state government. So that was the term, Your Lordship, way back in 2014. It was 2014, Your Lordship. So now, because of the paucity of fund, the department has, by a conscious policy of the decision, has decided to abandon. It's a state plan. That's centrally sponsored also, but then I think whatever the petitioner has spent, we have paid, and if petitioner has some grievance, he can still talk with the department. He can still approach the department, not this writ court.
That's what I was telling him also in the morning. I mean,
Yes.
at the first instance. Prayers for additional fund. And they say that additional fund will not be given, subject to variable to fund only. See, you're guided by this allotment of work, isn't it? Terms and condition.
Yes, sir.
Now, since they don't have the fund, they've given you 1.5 lakhs.
Yes, sir.
And have you utilized more than 1.5 lakhs? Have you invested more than 1.5 lakhs?
Yes, Your Lordship.
Where have you stated that?
Lordship, Lordship, we have mentioned the amount was for site leveling, Your Lordship.
Huh?
We have mentioned, Your Lordship, that the amount was for site leveling, Your Lordship.
No, I'm asking you. You are given 1.5 lakhs.
Your Lordship.
Have you utilized more than 1.5
Yes, Your Lordship.
lakhs?
Lordship, we have.
Where have you stated that?
We have not met any advertisements, Your Lordship, in the
Then-
petition regarding people.
You approached the department.
Lordship, we have made a representation, Your Lordship.
Where is that?
Lordship, Your Lordship would come to page number 29, Your Lordship. Annexure F, Your Lordship. Lordship, we have paid for the release of approved cost, Your Lordship, of the project in regard to the work order, Your Lordship, PHC, Your Lordship.
Where?
Page 29, Your Lordship, Annexure F. Page 29. Annexure F. The Commissioner as well as the Director, Your Lordship. On 03/05/2021, Your Lordship.
Where have you stated that you should do release of the fund?
Your Lordship, the subject, Your Lordship. Presentation for releasing the approved costs of the project in regard to the construction of the VHC, Your Lordship. If I may be allowed to read the representation, Your Lordship.
No, I've already read it. I've finished reading it. You don't have a case. You see, somebody has given you a contract saying that this subject to available of fund, you will be given this fund. They have released for leveling, they've given you 1.5 lakhs. And later on now, they say that there's due to paucity of fund. This is from the state, so we don't have the means to continue with this project. So indirectly, they say that the project cannot be carried forward. So now, under such circumstances, how do you say that you should be given, even if they decide not to go ahead with the fund, you still should be given the fund? How can you claim that? That is why I asked you that have you spent more than 1.5 lakhs in mobilizing your resources, so that unless you are given some amount, you will run at a loss? Is that your case? If that is your case, you should show me in which paragraph you have stated. I have spent 3 lakhs, I have spent 5 lakhs, they've given me only 1.5 lakhs. Then it's a different thing. But if you are saying that even if you want to abandon, you must still give me the fund so that I will somehow construct this building. Can you say that?
Lordship, what has happened is that
And secondly, even if you have spent more than 1.5 lakhs, you have to claim for damages because this is a contract. You are guided by the document at page 16. So what do you want to do?
Your Lordship may pass appropriate orders, Your Lordship.
Appropriate orders means I have to dismiss it. All right. Heard. Your good name, please?
M. Soloy, Your Lordship.
M. Soloy,
Lordship.
Learned Counsel for the petitioner who submits that by filing this writ petition. The petitioner, who is a class 1 contractor,
Lordship,
is praying for release of additional fund to complete the work in terms of the work order issued to him on 26/11/2014. Most of the Learned Counsel submits that the petitioner was selected and awarded work order for the work of for construction of veterinary health center at Noxen under State Plan 2013-2014. And the value of the work was rupees 14,78,000. That means 14,78,000. To stop the period of completion of the work was stipulated as 12 months. To stop, although the petitioner started the work by leveling the site, and for which a sum of rupees 1,50,000 was released, the state respondents failed to release the remaining amount, and for which reason the petitioner approached the Directorate of the Veterinary and Animal Husbandry Department, Government of Nagaland. To stop, the director, by letter dated 30/8/2019, submitted proposal for additional fund for the pending work to the tune of rupees 20.75 lakhs to the Commissioner and Secretary to the Government of Nagaland, Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Services Department. To stop. However, as the fund has not been released for completion of the work, the petitioner approached. What is the letter date, this annexure F?
Lordship, 30305-2021, Your Lordship.
From where do we know that?
Lordship, from the bottom, Your Lordship.
3.5, is it?
3.5, Your Lordship.
2021.
Yes, Your Lordship.
What did I say? However?
As the fund has not been released.
Acha, you cancel that. Just put however, the remaining you cancel. However, comma, despite the said proposal, the state government has not released the additional fund. Full stop. The petitioner has also approached the Commissioner and Secretary to the Government of Nagaland, Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Services Department by submitting a representation dated 3/5/2021. Stop. As the same has not been considered, the petitioner is before this court through the instant writ petition. Next para, the learned counsel for the petitioner submits that since the petitioner was allotted the work for construction of veterinary health center at Noxin and was given a sum of rupees 1.5 lakhs for site leveling, the respondent authorities concerned should be directed to release the remaining amount for completion of the work. Next para, Mr. Kindly your name?
Moim Chen.
Mr. Moim Chen, learned senior government advocate, on the other hand, by referring to the affidavit in opposition filed by the respondent numbers 3, 4, and 5 on 15/11/2021, submits that as per the terms and conditions of the allotment of the work, it was clearly stipulated that no mobilization advance will be given and no enhancement of rate will be considered by the department. Further, it was also provided that the payment is subject to availability of fund by the state government. The petitioner was released a sum of rupees 1.5 lakhs. As per the fund available in the budgetary provision, which was spent towards site leveling, SITE, site leveling. However, since the state is facing severe financial crunch, and moreover, the work was proposed to be executed through the state budget, the state government could not continue. The state government could not provide further additional fund to carry out the project. Stop. Therefore, the project that was proposed has been abandoned by the state government. Stop. He submits that whatever has been spent by the petitioner for site leveling, the same has already been released to him, and therefore, under the circumstance, the petitioner cannot insist for release of further fund, considering the financial status of the state. Full stop. From the next para, from the above projection made by the parties, what can be noticed is that as per the work order issued to the petitioner, the following terms and conditions were stipulated in the work order itself. The same may be abstracted here under for ready perusal. Page 16, A to A. 16 of the writ petition. No, it's 16 and 17. It starts at 16 and ends at 17. Do you have eraser? Eraser. It starts at page 16 and ends at page 17, huh? A to A. Next para, from the above abstract, it may be seen that the condition for allotment of the work, importantly, is that no mobilization advance will be given. You do one thing, the A to A, you take it from page 5 of the counter affidavit. It's more clear. Page 5, A to A. It's a green flag. And that payment is subject to availability of fund by the state government. Stop. The petitioner claims that site leveling was carried out, and for that purpose, a sum of rupees 1.5 lakhs was released. Stop. However, due to the reason stated by the state respondents, further fund could not be released due to paucity of fund. Stop. Under this circumstance, the state government apparently appears to have abandoned the project. For the same reason, the petitioner cannot insist that the additional fund required or the remaining balance of fund required should be released to him. In view of the fact that the project work is guided by the terms and conditions as stipulated in the work order. Full stop. Therefore, the petitioner, having accepted the terms and conditions of the work order, cannot at this stage insist for the release of further fund. Full stop. As such, I do not find it to be a fit case for issuing any direction to the state respondents in terms of the prayer made by the petitioner. Accordingly, the petition stands dismissed.
Item number 5.
Yes. And government is also not appearing. Is IME, you are not in this matter. Who's the counsel?
Your Lordship, let the matter come up after 1 week.
Last time, Ms. Supungwati appeared for the petitioner and Ms. S. Chang appeared for the state. No one appears for the parties when the matter is called today. Is the matter again after a week?
Item number 18.
Yes.
May it please your Lordship. Lordship, here the petitioner is seeking grade 4 appointment on the basis of land ownership, Lordship. Yes, Lordship, may I take your Lordship to the agreement, Lordship?
Oh, there is an agreement.
Yes, Lordship. Which is at page 14, Annexure A, Lordship. Lordship, the agreement is made between the respondent number 3 and the father-in-law of the petitioner, your Lordship. Between the respondent number 3 and the father-in-law of the petitioner, Lordship. Lordship, here the petitioner is the daughter-in-law of the landowner who donated the land, Lordship, for constructing the administration rest house at Siochang Kifiri, Lordship. May I read the agreement, Lordship?
Yes.
This agreement is made on this day, the 1st day of March 2011 between Sri Avito Kinimi, son of Mekuze Kinimi, aged about 73 years, permanent resident of Yangzitong village, under the Kifiri district, Nagaland, herein referred to as the first party of the one party, and additional district commissioner Edisi Siochang, town Kifiri district, herein referred to the second party of the other part. Whereas the first party have agreed to donate the land measuring about 40 by 60 square feet to the second party for the construction of administration rest house Siecheng town Kifiri under Kifiri district. And whereas it has been mutually agreed upon by the parties to enter into an agreement, now this agreement witnessed by between the parties hereto as follows. Point number one, Lordship. That the parties with the same application of mine have agreed that the first party will donate the land measuring about 40 by 60 square feet to the second party for the construction of administration rest house, Siotong town under Kifiri district. Point number two, that in the event of the post creation and subsequent appointment of grade 4 staff in the office of the additional deputy commissioner CEO Chang Town under Kifiri district, the second party has agreed to give the first privilege to the first party to compensate for the land donated for the construction of administration rest house CEO Chang Town Kifiri district. That is statement made in the that is not the Lordship. So Lordship, here after Lordship, the petitioner has been after this agreement, the rest house was constructed, and the petitioner, since there was a vacancy, Lordship, at the administration rest house, Lordship, the petitioner applied for the post, Lordship. She gave the representation to the deputy commissioner, Lordship, which is at Annexure B, Lordship. And again, Lordship, so many representation has been given to the state respondents, Lordship. However, till date, her representation has not been.
Please come back to that page 15,
Lordship.
the second paragraph.
Lordship.
That in the event of
Post creation.
Yes, please
Lordship.
continue. Please read.
That in the event of post creation and subsequent appointments of grade 4 staff in the office of the additional deputy commissioner CEO Chang Town under the district under Kifiri district, the second party has agreed to give first privilege to the first party to compensate for the land donated for the
Okay.
construction.
So that appointment is regarded as compensate, not money.
No, not money, Lordship.
For the land donation, they will compensate by giving job.
Yes, Lordship. The grade 4 appointment, Lordship.
Okay.
So after this agreement,
And
Lordship.
this agreement was signed on 1st March 2011.
Lordship. And they have been utilizing the land since 2011, Lordship. And now, Lordship, after this agreement, the petitioner applied for the post in the year 2014, Lordship, which is at Annexure B, Lordship.
What is the date?
That is 11/3/2014, Lordship. It's on the right side of the
11/3/2014.
2014, Lordship, yes. After that, Lordship, at page 17, Annexure 3, Lordship.
You applied for the post of sweeper.
Sweeper, Lordship, which was, may I read, Lordship, there?
Yes.
To the Deputy Commissioner Kifiri Nagaland, requesting for appointment of sweeper at Civil Administration Rest House, Siotong Town. So on the subject cited above, I have the honor to request you following few lines for favor of your kind consideration and necessary action, please. That, sir, it is learned that the post of sweeper is lying vacant at Civil Administration Rest House, Siotong Town. In this connection, I am applying for the same post. My necessary particulars are given here below. Name, your Lordship, the petitioner, Lordship. And under the above statement, I'm sure that that your kind authority will appoint me in the said post on the early date, as I am the landowner which the department is occupied for the construction, for which the act of your kindness I shall be thankful, sir. So, Lordship, after that, the ADC, Lordship,
No, what do you mean by occupied for construction? Construction was still going on.
No, Lordship, that was at that point of time, the construction was completed, Lordship. 2014, Lordship. Lordship, then page 17, Annexure C, Lordship. Here the ADC has forwarded the letter representation of the petitioner to the Deputy Commissioner, Lordship. May I read, Lordship?
But this representation of page 16 was given to the Deputy Commissioner.
Yes, Lordship. However, again, it was again forwarded, Lordship. It seems they might have given clear representation, Lordship. May I read, Lordship?
Yes.
To the Deputy Commissioner Kifiri Nagaland, appointment of sweeper at GS Rest House, Siochang. So, in inviting reference to the subject cited above, the undersigned have the honor to forward herewith an application received in original form from Srimati Shikani Simi of Yangzitong Village, requesting for appointments as sweeper against the newly constructed GA Rest House, Siochang headquarters. It may be pertinent to note that Srimati Shikani Sumi is one of the original landowner where the present GA rest house is located, and that Srimati Shikani Sumi and the family have not availed any sort of compensation whatever from the government, either financially or in terms of service. Hence, it is recommended that the authority may kindly consider the case as special, as there is no sweeper against the same, and that the permanent appointment employee is required to look after the building. In case of affirmative action from the authority, Srimati Shikani can be appointed as sweeper come temporary caretaker, which will be more effective in utilizing the service. This is for your kind information necessary action. So, Lordship, after that, Lordship, there is also one letter that was written to the Deputy Commissioner by the SDO, Lordship, CEO Chang, the Commissioner Office, Lordship. May I read, Lordship?
Yes.
To the Deputy Commissioner Kifiri Nagaland regarding forwarding of application for appointment of sweeper at GA Rest House, CEO Chang. So, in inviting a reference to your letter number so-and-so dated 8/5/2014 on the subject cited above, I am directed to inform you that the additional Deputy Commissioner, CEO Chang, has 3 sweepers. Therefore, it is requested you to assign 1 sweeper to look after the GA resource, CEO Chang, Lordship. That was written by the SDO, Office of the Commissioner, to the Deputy Commissioner, Kifiri, Lordship. Then after again, Lordship, there is another.
There is one reference here.
Yes, Lordship.
In this letter which you just read.
Yes, Lordship.
In inviting reference to your letter so-and-so dated 8/5/2014.
Lordship.
Where is that 8/5/2014?
Lordship, we could not extract that letter. My sincere apologies, Lordship.
So the additional DC has forwarded to the DC.
Lordship.
And probably the DC has forwarded it to the commissioner
Lordship.
by his letter 8/5/14.
Lordship.
Then the SDO from the office of the commissioner has replied back, there are already 3 sweeper.
Lordship.
Now,
there is again another letter, Lordship, which is written by the ADC CEO Chang to the Deputy Commissioner Kifiri, Lordship. May I read, Lordship? Which is at page 19, Annexure E, Lordship.
yes.
To the Deputy Commissioner Kifiri Nagaland, subject appointment of sweeper at GA Resource, CEO Chang. Sir, in inviting a reference to the subject cited above, I have the honor to forward her with the application received in original from Srimati Shikani Simi of Yangzitong for appointment to the post of sweeper at newly constructed GA Resource Siochang headquarters. It may be mentioned that the GA Resource is located at the land donated by her family. Land owner certificate issued by the village council is also enclosed. The application is forwarded with recommendation to be considered for appointment on contingency paid basis to be regularized as and when the post is created. This is for your further necessary action, please. After this, again, there were so many communications between the respondents, Lordship. However, after that, again, Lordship, even the father-in-law of the petitioner, he wrote a representation to the Commissioner Nagaland, Lordship, which is at Annexure F, page 20, Lordship.
Father-in-law.
Yes, Lordship. The father-in-law is the real owner of the land donated, Lordship. Page 20, Annexure F. Married, Lordship.
No,
Oh, no, it's
not required.
okay,
I have already read it.
Lordship.
Then what is page 21?
Lordship. So again, Lordship, the letter again, Annexure H, Lordship, page 22, Lordship.
See, the question is now whether the additional DC was authorized to give such kind of agreement.
Lordship.
Is it binding upon the government?
Lordship, because the rest house was constructed during his time, Lordship.
Maybe.
Yes, Lordship.
is it binding upon the government? That's the question. Can the additional DC promise that give your land will give you job? Then
Your Lordship, as per the rules of executive business, ADC does not have the authority to sign, to make any agreement.
what is your case in your counter affidavit? You,
When the agreement was made, when this agreement that is 1/3/2011 was made, there was already a government notification dated 26/7/2005, which was in existence, Your Lordship. It was in operation. This notification is annexure 3, page 8. And the relevant paragraph, if I may read. Clause 3, no land shall be acquired free of cost, and all land shall be acquired on payment of full compensation as determined by the law. No further conditions for employment in service or contractual work shall be entertained. So, Your Lordship, this agreement is in contravention to this notification. Moreover, Your Lordship, later when the government came to know about this agreement, the commissioner, he directed the deputy commissioner to cancel this agreement and to initiate the process for compensation and acquisition of land. This is by letter annexure 2, page 7 of my affidavit. This was the last communication made to the deputy commissioner by the commissioner from the commissioner's office. Page 7, annexure 2.
please read.
Sir, in inviting a reference to your letter dated 27/10/21 on the subject cited above, I am directed to state that as per Land Revenue Department notification number this dated 26/7/2005, it clearly stated that no land shall be acquired free of cost, and all land shall be acquired on payment of full compensation as determined by law. No further conditions for employment in service or contractual work shall be entertained. Further, as per Land Revenue Department letter dated 6/2/2020, appointment of government services on contractual work or any other facility on land ownership basis is totally banned by the government and has directed to initiate for acquisition of aforementioned land. Therefore, you are requested to kindly initiate cancellation of the lease agreement made on 1/3/2011 and to initiate for land compensation acquisition as per the direction of the government.
Who has directed to initiate acquisition? Is it available in that revenue letter, Land Revenue Department letter?
This letter was from the Commissioner's office, Your Lordship, so the...
No, I know that. See, what you just read out,
Yes.
if you read the fourth last line onwards of that letter, first paragraph. Further, as per Land Revenue Department letter number so-and-so, 6/2/2020, appointment to government service or contractual works or any other facilities on land ownership basis is totally banned by the government and has directed to initiate acquisition for aforesaid land. So does this Land Revenue Department letter contain that?
Lordship, I don't have the copy.
Lordship, it's at page 34, annexure R of my petition, Lordship.
Yes, correct. So if the land is banned, the appointment is banned, then you compensate, acquire it.
Lordship, the statement that the Learned Council is making that after they came to know, Lordship, since 2017, they are aware about the appointment, Lordship, which is
They are aware about what appointment?
about the appointment on the basis of land ownership, Lordship. That they are aware that they are seeking on the basis of land ownership. Lordship, may kindly come to page number 23.
No, that is not the point. The point is that there is already a notification of 26/7/2005.
Lordship, there is another notification subsequent to that, Lordship. We have also annexed in our petition, Lordship.
Which notification?
At annexure S, page 35, Lordship. My
Yes,
petition.
2018, correct.
Lordship. There is this petition, this notification, Lordship, may kindly come to point number 3A, Lordship. May I read, Lordship?
Yes.
In other cases prior to 2607/2005 and subsequent to the setting up of the administrative and block headquarters on freely donated land where a specific written agreement exists providing for the employment of the landowners, the claim of a landowner for employment should be settled in terms of such agreement, Lordship. This notification does not bar us, Lordship. And the administrative headquarters was set up only after the agreement was made, Lordship. So on this basis, Lordship, the petitioner is still claiming for the appointment, Lordship.
In other case,
Your Lordship, clause 3A clearly states that prior to 26/7/2005, that is cases before 2005, Your Lordship. And if as per this notification, clause 1A, the fourth line, it clearly states, Your Lordship, therefore, in case any department has entered into any agreement with the landowners in deviation of the laid down policy on or after 26/7/2005, such agreement shall be treated as null and void. The department concerned shall take necessary actions accordingly to nullify such agreement, Your Lordship.
Lordship, the Learned Council has left out the important part, that is, and subsequent to setting up of the administrative and blocks, Lordship. That may be considered, Lordship.
But that is prior to 2005, Your Lordship.
we have a more legible copy of this notification. Have you also annexed it in the counter affidavit?
No, Your Lordship, I have not annexed it.
You have not annexed.
No, Lordship.
So is it a matter of interpretation now?
Lordship.
In other cases, prior to 26/7/2005 and subsequent to setting up of administrative and block headquarters on freely donated land, where a specific written agreement exists providing for employment, the claim of landowner for employment should be settled in terms of such agreement. Now, what was that land used for? For constructing?
The administrative rest house, Lordship.
Administrative guest house.
Yes, Lordship.
Guest house is guest house. What is that administrative guest house?
That is maybe for the guest house for the officials, Lordship.
No, where is that word administrative guest house? Of course, yes.
Yes.
For the construction of administration rest house.
Yes, Lordship.
These are getting cut. Let's go through. And subsequent to setting up of. Yes, how do we interpret this? Prior to this date and subsequent to setting our administration. So your basic stand here is that the government instruction is already there in 2005. So the agreement cannot be held to be valid. And at best, compensation
Yes, Your Lordship.
can be processed. But have you processed that?
Your Lordship, direction was given to the DC.
Yes, in
So,
21.
yes, in 21.
And who has filed this affidavit? 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 also includes DC?
Yes,
Yes, Your
Lordship.
Lordship.
Yes, state represented by commissioner, then number 2 is DC, number 3 is additional DC.
Lordship, moreover, this agreement, it is not valid because as per the rules of executive business, Rule 12, it states that orders or instruments of the government of the state shall be expressed to be made in the name of the government and shall be signed either by an officer mentioned in Rule 2L or such other officers as may be authorized by the government. Now, in Rule 2L, it mentions secretary means a secretary to the government of state of Nagaland and includes chief secretary, additional secretary, principal secretary, commissioner secretary, special secretary, secretary, additional secretary, joint secretary, deputy secretary, and under secretary. Now here under this category, Your Lordship, the ADC does not come under this category. And similar issue arose in Writ Appeal 18.
Oh, that's okay. See, the government,
Yes, Your Lordship.
any instrument can be signed on behalf of the government by under secretary and above.
Yes, Your Lordship.
That is there. But this notification also speaks about department. In case any department has entered into any agreement, so in the department you have the administrative departments, directorates, establishment of the deputy commissioner, all those things are there. What is this?
In Writ Appeal, Your Lordship, in this appeal also, a similar agreement between the landowners and the department was
Which
came into issue.
paragraph?
The relevant portion is paragraph 14. This was the observation of the court. The agreement dated 7/2/2009 would also indicate that the same has been made in form of an affidavit which has not been sworn before the competent authority. We are therefore unable to accept the document dated 7/2/2009 either as an affidavit or as an agreement, and therefore the said document dated this is nonus in the eyes of the law. A consideration of the document dated this was also indicate that the same is in contravention of the notification dated 26/7/2005, which clearly provides that no land shall be acquired free of cost and all the land shall be acquired on payment of full compensation as determined by law, and that no further conditions for employment to the government service or awarding of contractual role shall be entertained.
No, but this does not clarify your submission. The out here, why it was not accepted was because it was not sworn before anybody. It was just a piece of paper, not sworn before anybody.
Your Lordship, that affidavit is.
It does not say that it was not signed between the undersecretary and above and the landowner. It was only an affidavit without any signature of notary or whoever it may be. So I think this is a case, perhaps, that you cannot give away land like that free of cost. You have to be compensated. But employment may be difficult. Perhaps your land has to be acquired
Lordship,
ultimately.
Lordship, my humble prayer is that, Lordship, at this belated stage, the state cannot go on their Lordship, they cannot, at this stage, Lordship, after 13 years, Lordship, they were aware since 2017, since 2014 that the petitioner was processing for this. If that memorandum, 2000, that notification 2005, which is not, which is applicable in her case, then they should have done before that only, Lordship. But now at this stage only, they are twisting the issue, Lordship, basing on that notification, Lordship. So my humble prayer, Lordship, if after utilizing so many years and now the state, they are banging on the notification, Lordship, that's my humble step, if that can be considered, Lordship. And the petitioner has waited for more than 13 years, including this year, Lordship. So it's a waste for her also, Lordship. And if the petitioner, they are not not willing, in fact, Lordship, to take the monetary compensation, Lordship, since they have waited for so many years, Lordship. And if in case the government does not agree to their prayer, Lordship, they are willing to take back the land, Lordship. So,
But there's already a construction there, isn't it?
Lordship, that is why they were waiting patiently, Lordship, for that only, Lordship. They're just asking for one post, Lordship.
Ms. Ayami, then I think you make some clarification regarding what is the process undertaken pursuant to this communication, number one. Number two is that whether this clause 3A will debar consideration of the petitioner. And you file one small additional affidavit. It will be taken up again.
Lordship, regarding the communication to the petitioners, Lordship, regarding the compensation, it seems we were informed that the DC, the ADC, where the petitioners were summoned, it seems, to his office, and regarding the compensation for the land. But the petitioner, they are not willing to take the monetary compensation, Lordship, only if they can consider for the appointment. And if not, then they are willing to take back the land, Lordship. That is what we are informed,
But
Lordship.
is that possible to take back the land?
Lordship, since they are saying in the affidavit, they are clearly stating that they will cancel the agreement. So if they cancel the agreement, nothing stands, Lordship.
No, is it like that in the agreement?
Yes, Lordship. No, they have stated in the affidavit to cancel the agreement, Lordship. It's clearly stated, Lordship.
Where?
Lordship. Lordship, there, annexure to page 7, Lordship. Annexure 2 of their opposition, Lordship. Page number 7, Lordship. Opposition of the government, Lordship.
Yes.
In the second para, Lordship, merit, Lordship. Therefore, you are requested to kindly initiate a cancellation of the lease agreement made on 1/3/2011 and initiate for land compensation / acquisition as per the direction of the government, Lordship. They have clearly stated that they will cancel the lease agreement, Lordship, in their order, Lordship, in their letter, Lordship.
So what does it mean? It means that they are not recognizing the lease agreement, whatever agreement you have come. Instead, they say that you compensate.
Lordship.
You initiate the matter for acquisition
Yes, Lordship.
in
that
terms
is
of the
what-
instruction given in this 2005.
Lordship.
So that is what.
So
No, what I thought perhaps my understanding about your submission was that the agreement of this 2011 agreement say that if appointment is not given,
No.
we will cancel the agreement.
No, Lordship, that is
And I
not.
will take back the land. There's nothing like that.
Nothing like that, Lordship. Yes.
It says that we'll donate this land free of cost, but whenever there is a post there, you appoint somebody in the grade 4 post.
Yes, Lordship. Only on that ground, even the land was given, Lordship. So,
Correct.
yes.
But there is no such taking back. It doesn't say that if appointment is not given within 10 years, I will take back the land.
Lordship.
Nothing like that. So what is to be done?
Your Lordship, as per the notification, 2005 notification, this agreement, it's in violation of the notification. So
So when did this come into the picture? Agreement?
this agreement was made in 2011.
No. It was made in 2011, no doubt, but so when did you analyze this agreement? Only after filing of writ petition?
No, Lordship, it was 2017. Since then, they are aware, Lordship.
No,
They have-
that's what I'm asking.
Lordship.
That when the recommendation was made by the DC,
Yes, Your Lordship.
that time commissioner could have said that the agreement is not void. Instead, is void ab initio because 2005 notification is there. Now instead, the SDO has written back saying that you already have three sweepers. Put one sweeper there in that government administrative guest house. Nothing was said about the appointment.
In fact, Lordship, here at annexure I, page 23, even the Commissioner Office has also wrote a letter regarding the exam to see whether there was any compensation made to the petitioner's family, Lordship.
Where?
Page 23, annexure I, which is addressed to the Deputy Commissioner, Lordship. May I read, Lordship?
No, it's okay. There's no mention about compensation, acquisition.
Lordship.
It just says for examination.
Examination, Lordship. Lordship, may I kindly see annexure again? Lordship, may I kindly see annexure Q, Lordship? Here the ADC, Lordship, the Commissioner Office has wrote to the Secretary Land Revenue, Lordship, whether there was any compensation made, Lordship. There was not record available in their respective establishment for the payment of compensation, Lordship. These are all the communications between the state respondents.
So what is this 9519 then? 9519?
Lordship. Lordship, annexure N, Lordship, page 30. May I read, Lordship?
Yes.
To the Commissioner Nagaland Kohima regarding appointment to the post of sweeper on landowner basis under ADC Siyochang Kifiri district. So, in inviting a reference to your office letter number so-and-so dated 11/1/2019 on subject cited above, I am directed to request you to ask the Deputy Commissioner Kifiri to furnish detailed status information as to how the GA rest house was constructed on the land without verifying how it was acquired, whether compensation was paid, and submit with further details to this department for necessary action. So this is the letter, that is the reply, Lordship, which I have read
Correct.
out.
So This is all in view of that 2005 notification that no land should be acquired free of cost. It should be acquired, compensation should be paid. So those were the instructions which were not followed by the ADC. So all these queries came up. What has happened? Did you give money? Was it acquired? So these questions have been answered like that. No compensation was given. So now the instruction is that you should take necessary steps to get the agreement cancelled and process the matter for acquisition. So that is the best thing which can happen now. I think I have indicated you the thoughts of the court. If you I also even indicated that government may file an additional affidavit, but you're insisting I have to take a call. If I take a call, that is the decision.
Lordship,
Or you want adjournment?
Lordship, if this agreement is honored, Lordship, after so many years, Lordship, they have been waiting in this regard.
It can't be. It can't be. I will give the reasons. It can't be. I'm telling you that in view of that 2005 notification, these things have to be stopped. This arrangement has to be stopped. Today also I had pronounced one judgment. That was a bit different. It's not like this. That in that case, land was taken over in 1982, long time back. So that's why I've held that 2018 notification cannot be utilized retrospectively because everything happened in 1982. So for that reason, some relief was granted. But here this is a case agreement in 2011. And we come across this 2005 notification saying that this thing should not be done like that. And that's why they have also suggested now we'll pay them compensation. Let it be acquired.
Yes, Lordship, this 2018 notification, if that can be considered, Lordship. 2018 notification.
How will it be considered?
That the rest house was built only after the agreement was made, Lordship.
No.
If that can't be.
No. That interpretation also cannot happen. That's what you were trying to say, that you are covered by this particular clause 3B or 3A. This also cannot be interpreted in that manner. I'm sorry.
In fact, regarding the interpretation, Lordship, I do not have the citations. However,
So you have it after 2 weeks. I'll adjourn it.
Lordship. Lordship.
As paid for by the learned counsel for the petitioner. Matter be listed again after 2 weeks.
Lordship, after 1 week.
After 1 week, all right.
Much obliged, Lordship.
I understand very much the sentiments of the land owner and on what thought they might have given. But the law is like that, what to do. Any other case? That's all.